You can never get a cup of tea large enough, or a book long enough to suit me. Someday, you will be old enough to start reading fairy tales again. A children's story that can only be enjoyed by children is not a good children's story in the slightest. If we find ourselves with a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we were made for another world. Friendship is unnecessary, like philosophy, like art. It has no survival value. Rather, it is one of those things which give value to survival. Eating and reading are two pleasures that combine admirably. I can't imagine a man really enjoying a book and reading it only once. No book is really worth reading at the age of 10, which is not equally, and often far more, worth reading at the age of 50 and beyond. We are not necessarily doubting that God will do the best for us. We are wondering how painful the best will turn out to be. There are far, far better things ahead than any we leave behind. A man can no more diminish God's glory by refusing to worship Him than a lunatic can put out the sun by scribbling the word darkness on the walls of his cell. Love is not affectionate feeling, but a steady wish for the loved person's ultimate good as far as it can be obtained. Crying is all right in its way while it lasts, but you have to stop sooner or later, and then you still have to decide what to do. Pain insists upon being attended to. God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our consciences, but shouts in our pains. It is His megaphone to rouse a deaf world. I have learned now that while those who speak about one's miseries usually hurt, those who keep silence hurt more. Atheism turns out to be too simple. If the whole universe has no meaning, we should never have found out that it has no meaning. God can give us peace and happiness apart from Himself, because there is no such thing. It is a good rule after reading a new book never to allow yourself another new one till you have read an old one in between. I'm on Aslan's side even if there isn't any Aslan to lead it. I'm going to live as like a Narnian as I can, even if there isn't any Narnia. You can make anything by writing. No one ever told me that grief felt so like fear. He died not for men, but for each man. If each man had been the only man made. He would have done no less. The homemaker has the ultimate career. All other careers exist for one purpose only, and that is to support the ultimate career. Mental pain is less dramatic than physical pain, but it is more common and also more hard to bear. The frequent attempt to conceal mental pain increases the burden. It is easier to say, "My tooth is aching," than to say, "My heart is broken." It would seem that our Lord finds our desires not too strong, but too weak. We are half-hearted creatures, fooling about with drink and sex and ambition when infinite joy is offered us, like an ignorant child who wants to go on making mud pies in a slum because he cannot imagine what is meant by the offer of a holiday at the sea. We are far too easily pleased. What draws people to be friends is that they see the same truth. They share it. I didn't go to religion to make me happy. I always knew a bottle of port would do that. If you want a religion to make you feel really comfortable, I certainly don't recommend Christianity. Courage, dear heart. The task of the modern educator is not to cut down jungles, but to irrigate deserts. What you see and what you hear depends a great deal on where you are standing. It also depends on what sort of person you are. Love is something more stern and splendid than mere kindness. Education without values, as useful as it is, seems rather to make man a more clever devil. God allows us to experience the low points of life in order to teach us lessons that we could learn in no other way. I know now, Lord, why you utter no answer. You are yourself the answer. Before your face questions die away, what other answer would suffice? A proud man is always looking down on things and people, and, of course, as long as you are looking down, you cannot see something that is above you. If you look for truth, you may find comfort in the end. If you look for comfort, you will not get either comfort or truth, only soft soap and wishful thinking to begin, and in the end, despair. Now the trouble about trying to make yourself stupider than you really are is that you very often succeed. We meet no ordinary people in our lives. She's the sort of woman who lives for others. You can tell the others by their hunted expression. Things never happen the same way twice. There was a boy called Eustace Clarence Scrubb, and he almost deserved it. The great thing to remember is that though our feelings come and go, God's love for us does not. We hope that the words or quotes from C.S. Lewis can build and make our generation become useful figures for the world, successful and better. Thank you for watching.